room. Sense making. In a data-driven world, how do we make sense of the data? Computational thinking. Now, I know that you probably use a lot of computer systems in your world. Computational thinking is really the reality of saying, you know what, I do work side by side with a computer or databases or devices. Do I really understand how to use these computers as a teammate? In fact, IBM, you might have remembered Watson. Watson's been around for a really long time. IBM developed Watson, a supercomputer with artificial intelligence, very smart, that actually came out on Jeopardy. This was years ago. And what they did is they taught Watson, they gave it basically, just imagine digesting thousands of Jeopardy questions and answers, and Watson could answer and beat anyone in Jeopardy. And that was kind of interesting because we learned a lot about artificial intelligence and how computers can learn things. But now it's even growing more, right? Because actually they can learn and relearn. In fact, today Watson digested a lot of cookbooks and actually spit out a brand new recipe. So that's getting very interesting because with super intelligence, they can actually learn to learn. So if you have a Watson, which IBM will say to you, or computer systems, do you actually know how to really use them to your best advantage, right? Computational thinking. How do you actually deliver, right, and solve the problem side by side with a computer? Let me just go back to the Nordstrom example, because here's what I think went wrong with Nordstrom. I actually went back to the store. I got my $100. I had to. And it was a really weird thing that happened because the salesperson, who was not my favorite salesperson because I didn't really know who she was, set up an entire room of clothes and shoes and jewelry, and it was all top-of-the-line designer. And it was like walking into like your own personal runway. And I walked in and said, oh, that's really nice. And if I do what I do, I look at the price tag like this, and I said, okay, I'm done, thank you very much. I'll go out to the sales rack. And they said, but we read your data, right? We put out all the brands that you like, all the colors that we think that you buy. Why didn't you buy anything? I said, because your data scientists probably forgot one thing, computational thinking. Did they ask why I shopped in December and August? And if they had fed that in, that human intelligence of why, they would have found out because it's sales, right? I'm a bottom feeder, right? Sales. So computational thinking is, yes, you can have these computers run all these data analytics and do predictives and show the trends, and they nailed me pretty well. But then it's really diving deep into the why, and that's where you need the humans to work side by side with computers. So computational thinking.